Hello everyone, myself Dr. Rajkiran Prabhakar, Assistant Professor at Institute of Management Studies, Banaras Hindu University. Dear learners, I welcome you all in week 7, lecture 1 of course Rural Marketing Principles, Strategies and Practices. Today, we are going to discuss on the topic which is very much important in the marketing mix. We have gone through the 4 P's of marketing like product, place, promotion and price. So today, we are going to talk about the place decisions in rural marketing. We'll try to understand that how important is the place decision in rural marketing. So, we are going to take the topic one by one, the importance of the place decision in rural marketing, along with what are the key strategies that we have to look into, and we are also going to look into the challenges in taking the place decisions in rural marketing. So, in order to understand the distribution channels in rural marketing, we will look into which are those channels which are very much prominent in the rural places. And when you talk about the distribution, which is very, very important for any marketers to decide whether the place or the distribution in the rural areas are going to pay them, is it going to be fruitful to them, what and how they are going to implement it, because we have gone through the different challenges that are there in the rural market. How to penetrate into rural market, how to distribute your products in rural market, how to place your product in the rural consumers, it is very, very important. And it is evident from the understanding that the distribution channels are the pathways through which the products move from manufacturers to the consumers. It means whenever the marketer is planning to place its products in the hands of the consumers, what would be the method, what would be the way that he is going to implement it, and how it is going to be looking at the wider perspective of reaching to the customers. So we can say that these channels are often adopted to overcome the logistical challenges and reach the remote areas effectively. It means that the logistics has to be perfect, the place of placing the product is important, giving the services is important, as well as looking at the remote location, the remote areas where you can effectively manage that. In that context, we can say that the rural markets are vast, scattered and often lack proper infrastructure. It means that since the geographical conditions, the locations are so widespread, you might be knowing that the different villages, they have different kinds of geographical areas. It will be a plateau, it could be a land, it could be a hill area. So we see that number of houses which are present there, they might be in a scattered manner. And also we see that reaching out to those places is very difficult. It is very challenging. In order to meet that, we have to look into the implication of the good and effective distribution channels. We also understand that the infrastructure in the rural areas is also challenging. You have to develop your network system, your distribution channels in a manner that it can reach and it can locate those remote areas. So, requiring a customized distribution strategies is also very important aspect in the distribution channel. We see that companies sell and promote products using self-help groups. We have already talked about this, that the local leaders and the self-help groups are acting as the point of distributions, because the rural people, they follow those leaders, they follow those SHG groups, wherein if they are going to promote any product or services, they are going to look at those things. So we see that it is happening because of the poor roads. We all understand this. Low purchasing power and communication barriers make rural distribution more complex. It means that because of the poor roads, because of the low purchasing power and the communication barriers in the rural communities has to be addressed. This will be seen, this should be done only when we try to understand that how we can overcome these challenges. So the companies, they are going to use mobile vans. You might have gone across these mobile vans in the rural areas, in the villages, having the local dialects, languages used on the vans in local languages, so that the customers, the consumers, they can easily read those things, they can easily connect with those products, those companies, those brands. So what we are doing, we are using the mobile vans, we are also using solar powered fridges in order to make the products perishable, long life, increasing the shelf life. We need to have these solar powered fridges. We also see into the low cost packaging to overcome the challenges. Now these are certain aspects that we have to see in the distribution channel. Looking at the distance and different distribution channels, we can say that there are three major levels of distribution channels. The first one is you can go for zero level. What is zero level? Zero level means that there is a direct distribution from the manufacturer to the customers. This is oftenly practiced in the rural villages. There are few companies, there are few rural entrepreneurs which are going to promote their farm produce and they sell it directly to the customers. So we can say that when the distribution is directly coming from the manufacturer to the customer, it is termed as a level 0, which is direct communication, direct distribution with the manufacturer and the customer. Second option is one level. We see that there is somebody in between the manufacturer and the customer. Who is he? It is the retailer. Retailer acts as an intermediary between the manufacturer and the customers. It means that whenever the farmer want to sell their products, they are going to move that products from their farm, going to the mandis where the adatyas are there. They are going to buy their produces, and then this adatyas are going to push that to the customer side. So what we are saying here, that whenever there is an intervention of the intermediaries, and these intermediaries are acting between the manufacturer and the retailers, we can say this is termed as a level 1. Third option is two levels, wherein we see that there are two intermediaries who are going to play their role. The first one is the wholesaler and the second one is the retailer, and they are acting between the manufacturer and the customers. It means that the distribution is not happening directly. There are two other intermediaries which are going to play their roles in order to push the product from the manufacturer to the customers, but this will go via two mediums. These two mediums are wholesaler and the retailers, which are acting between the manufacturer and the customers. It means that all those companies which are going to push their product to the wholesaler, then wholesaler is going to push the product to retailer, and from retailer it goes to the customers. Now this two intermediaries or distribution channel is known as two-level distribution. Now what is the importance of distribution channels in rural marketing? We can say that it is because of GLPC. GLPC is going to act as the important methods of distribution. When we say it is G, we are talking about geographical spread. The geographical spread we see, as I have just mentioned, that because of this dispersed villages, means villages are in pockets. They are distributed in different places and it is in a pocket form. 3 houses, 4 houses, 2 houses, 1 houses, and the distance is very long. In order to meet out those villages, it is very much difficult. So we have to look into the distribution of the products and the services to those remote areas, those dispersed location. It is very, very difficult. Secondly, we see that sometimes it is inaccessible. As we can see that because of the poor roads, poor transportation, poor logistic system, it might be difficult that you cannot reach to the remote area, which might be inaccessible. So this is also a very, very important aspect that the marketer has to look into and try to find the solution to that this market could be accessible. Second is low population density. We are saying that it makes direct distribution costlier. As we have just mentioned that manufacturer will reach to the customer. Now to reach that, it has to be following certain measures that how we can reach to the direct consumers. It is not that much easy. It is very much difficult. So in order to meet out those challenges, you have to pay, you have to invest into that, and this is going to be a very costlier because of the low population density. Third, we are saying of the poor infrastructure. We are saying, and we have looked into our previous lectures also, that because of the poor roads, poor electricity and the communication, often it is undeveloped. It means that we are working on that, but it has not reached to that position wherein it could be taken as the guaranteed one. So what we have to do, we have to look into those challenges also. Consumer behavior is very, very important when we see that they rely more on the personal touch. The farmers, the rural consumers, they totally believe in touch and feel. It means if they are not going to touch, they are not going to feel, they are not going to buy. They are not going to trust. If there is no trust, no buying will take place. So what we see that the touch, personal touch and the trust in the local retailers is very, very important. And this serves the purpose of the marketers, that if they follow this kinds of trend of GLPC, they can overcome and they can use it for their distribution channels. Second, we are going to discuss about the types of distribution channels in rural areas. The first one is known as traditional distribution channel. The word itself signifies that traditional means what has been in the past, what has been done in the previous years. So we see here that this distribution channel, traditional distribution channel, it follows the 4-tier system. What is this 4-tier system? When we see that the products are going to move from the manufacturer, wholesaler, rural distributor, retailer and the consumers. Now important aspect is what you have just seen, the 2-level distribution system, wherein we are just talking about the wholesaler and the retailer. But now when you look into the 4-tier system, we see that the important factor is a rural distributor. It means it should be a local one who is going to have that kind of space, that kind of capacity, which is going to take from the wholesaler to the retailer, and it has its own presence in that very area, that very market, that very place. So this is the most common system used in rural India. It is very much prevalent, it is very much available because most of the rural consumers, they trust the rural distributor because those distributors are present in that very area. We can take an example to understand this better. We see that HUL is using the model to distribute these soaps. Soaps, we all understand, HUL has different brands in the soap category. We see it's a Lux, and we see shampoos. You can talk about Clinic Plus, check. It also talks other products. It could be FMCG products, could be there. It could be toiletry products, could be there. And this has a good pass from the central wholesaler to a small rural distributor and then to the village retailers. It means that the rural distributor acts as the point of contact for the retailers who can distribute from retailers to the customers. HUL has practiced this by the Project Shakti also. Second type is known as direct to village, DTV distribution. What happens in this? We are talking about the village retailer. It means the intermediary role played would be from the village retailers, which is going to act between the manufacturer and the consumers. My dear learners, since we see that this is going to be very much active, it is practiced for the fast moving consumer goods, and the companies are targeting deeper penetration through this medium. It means direct to village is the most trusted method of distribution in the rural areas. And since we say that it is a part of a village, all the villages are connected through the village retailers. The example that we can see here is the company Marico. Marico directly supplies product to high potential villages through their own delivery teams, ensuring better availability. It means that Marico, it is a well-known brand which practice this to reach out to the village retailers, and these village retailers are going to distribute to the different customers at their place, and they have a delivery teams for that. They develop those teams, they train those teams, and they are going to deliver to the rural customers, and this ensures a better availability. Then the third type is known as hub and spoke model. This we see that there is a central hub supplies goods to spokes, and these spokes are rural sub distributors or retailers. Now when we see that these sub distributors are going to be acting as the point of reference, point of contact, my dear learners, when we talked about the place distribution, we can say that it is also termed as point of sale, point of distribution, point of contact. It means that at any place where the consumers will get their products, either it is from the retailers, either it is from the rural village distributors, either it is from the retail distributors, they are all acting as a point of sales, point of purchase and point of contact. This helps in reducing the transportation cost and increase the efficiency. In order to save our time and money, we need to have this model of hub and spoke model. Example that we can see here is by the Patanjali Ayurveda. This uses this model to serve the villages from district level distribution centers and maintain a strong rural presence. My dear learners, we see that Patanjali is acting as the hub and spoke model, wherein the villages are going to be directly connected with the district level, and they are going to be provided at the different distribution centers. Also, they are maintaining a strong rural presence in the all the villages. If you find, you will find this Patanjali stores available there. So fourth is mobile vans and rural huts. Now this is very prominent, and it is evident that these mobile vans are very much used in the rural villages for distribution purposes. So company uses the vans or carts to reach the weekly markets. When we see, dear learners, that in our villages we find the hats, melas. It could be a weekly melas. Now what happens there? The rural distributors, they carry their vans. The van will carry the logo, sign, symbol of the brand. This gives a communication to the customers also. And when it is present in the hearts, it provides a different kind of messaging, and this is going to be used for promotional activities and reaching the underdeserved sales. Which means that the Coca-Cola with these products of EcoCool it is using this solar powered mobile coolers to serve the cold drinks in a remote areas via vans. Now, Coca-Cola has very well understood that how to reach to the rural consumers, and this is a very good example that we can see that Coca-Cola has eCool, which project which delivers which is going to make the cold drinks available to the remote areas along with the coolness also. So we can say that this mobile vans are also acting as a promotional tools for promoting their products by their presence in the rural hearts and villages. Fifth is digital and IT enabled channels. Technology bridges this gap, providing platforms for direct access. We are using these mobile phones. All the marketers, all the companies are providing different kinds of apps. The rural consumers are using these apps for getting their products. The point of distribution is the mobile phone screens, the apps. Now, very good example we can see here that the ITC eChaupal connects the farmer directly to the company via internet kiosks. It means that the kiosk is present at the ITC eChaupal. They visit to those places, they make orders, they buy the products, they sell the products, and reducing the exploitation by the middleman and improving the profit margins by the farmers. My dear friends, I have already mentioned in one of my lecture that ITC eChaupal Sagar is very good model wherein the farmers are selling their produce at the same place, they are buying the products for their need, and there is a win-win situation for the farmers as well as the company. Now, what does this model is going to signify? It signifies that it reduces dependency on the middleman and enhance the transparency. It is very important in the rural villages that the middleman should be removed, and the burden of middleman, that kind of the problem that they create is going to be removed. The dependency on the middleman is going to reduce, and this will help the farmers to get their revenue. Then sixth type of distribution channel is the self-help groups and the NGO channels. Now what they do, they are the last mile distributor due to their strong local network, because they are from the same villages, they are the same people who have formed their group, they exchange their things, and they are promoting the products also. And the NGO have also played very important roles, that they are also channelizing certain kinds of products and services. This helps in trust building and social inclusion. My dear learners, it is very important to build the trust. This trust is built by this SHGs. Also, we are looking into the social inclusion. Many people, many customers, they are engaging themselves. Many rural consumers are aware of what is happening. So, trust and social inclusion is the very good, important and advantage by using these self-help groups and the NGO channels. Very good example that we can take is by the HUL's Project Shakti, which partners with rural women. They were the first to introduce this kind of concept, and the rural women who were known as Shakti Ammas, they had their presence in the rural villages, and they were promoting these products, they were distributing their products, and they were earning their financial livelihoods. So we can say the empowerment was done through sales agents by this Shakti Ammas to sell the products and also to strengthen the woman empowerment for making them financially viable. The key strategies for effective rural distributions are customized packaging and pricing to suit the rural income partners. We are saying that this both the NGOs and the SHGs, their local partner is happening. It means that there is the kind of cooperation is there to build each other's relation along with the financial things. It is available. Credit facilities, which we see that it is available to the retailers as the cash flow is limited. We all understand that the cash flow is very well limited. In order to make it and overcome, the credit facilities is available. Secondly, we see that there are local influencers. These local influencers are like teachers and panchayat leaders. They used as a brand ambassadors. My dear learners, we all understand that nowadays the teachers in the middle school or high school, they are acting as an agents of change. These agents of change are involved to act as a brand ambassadors for making the products influence, making this product available to the customers, and they are acting as a local influencers. Lastly, we see that last mile is the connectivity with rural stockists or retailers owning the transport. My dear learners, we see that this retailers owning transport helps to connect different people. The rural entrepreneurs, the rural workers, the rural shops, they all are going to be connected with each other so as to deliver the stocks to the rural consumers and to the retailers. What are the challenges? These challenges can be seen as the infrastructure gaps, the roads and the storage. My dear learners, we all understand that because of the poor road infrastructure, the problem lies which was there in the past also. Connectivity is a problem, storage is a problem because of the infrastructure, low infrastructure. Secondly, low demand density. Sometimes demands might come, sometimes it might not. So the demand is very fluctuating. Because of this fluctuation in demand, it is a problematic and it is a challenge. We have to look into this. Cultural and linguistic diversity. We all understand the culture and the language is a very problem in the rural market, in the rural villages, because the people there, they are very much fond of local dialects. If you are not using local dialects, it is a problem. The cultural differences, it might be a problem, but this diversity also gives a opportunity for the farmers and the rural consumers to go and venture into it. Then we have a low awareness of brand and product because we are not that much capable enough to promote our products. We are not providing a proper messaging. So it might be a problem of low awareness of the brands and the product. With these things, today we are going to look into the activity, that is, think about this. In this activity, what we are going to see, that imagine you are launching a new affordable health drink for rural children. What kind of distribution channel would you choose to reach to the remote villages and efficiently, and why? Secondly, think about the journey of a product like soap from a city factory to a rural home. What barriers might it face along the way? How could you design the channel to minimize this channel? Now, dear learners, you have to think about this and try to find answers to this question, what we have discussed in our lecture. And with this, I come to the end of the week 7 lecture 1. I hope you are understanding what has been delivered in this lecture. Thank you very much.